We're back, fifth grade. Here we are, lesson 3, module 5, still talking about volume. I've got my cubes back in action here. I have built a rectangular prism with my unit cubes, my unit centimeter cubes. Remember, each one of these cubes is 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. They have 3 dimensions, so that's why they're called cubic units. And so this is asking us to think about building rectangular prisms with unit cubes and thinking about breaking it down in layers, okay? Just that helps us imagine volume and think about volume accurately when we think about layers. So this is my 3-dimensional drawing that I was given, and I have built, let me bring this document camera down, I have built the same rectangular prism with my unit cubes. Now, how did I do that? Well, when I was building it, I actually looked at the drawing and I saw that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cubes, but there were 2 rows of 6 cubes on the bottom. So that whole bottom layer, this bottom layer, is made up of 12 cubes because it is 2 rows of 6. So that layer is 12 cubes. First layer has 12 cubes. And I can clearly see that there are 2 layers. So we've got 2 layers of 12 cubes, which makes the volume 24 cubic units. Now, it wants us to do it in other ways. You can also decompose it like this. If I spread out these little layers of 4, I'll call them, slices, but they're still layers. If I turned it, I don't think I can turn it. I'm not going to risk it, but I could turn this box on its end, and every layer then would be 4. Or I could just call them slices, and I have 6 layers of 4, which also gives me 24 square units. Okay, so so there you go. The other way is to think about this, and it's like more slices. Okay, it's also going to be 2 layers of 12, but you could break it apart like this. Okay, so you can hopefully see that that is 2 slices or side layers, however you want to think of it, 2 layers of 12, but just divided in a different way. But any way around it, we get 24 cubic centimeters for the volume. Okay, let's look at this one now. This is, it looks like the bottom layer is 1, 2, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that bottom layer is 8. Here's the bottom layer, 8. Okay, and how many layers does it have? 1, 2, 3. So I'll just try to get this all in one fell swoop. There's my second layer of 8. And then my third layer of 8. Here comes my third layer of 8. And there, I've just built the second rectangular prism. And I'll let you see it. Okay. Did I do a good job? It's 3 tall, right? So that means that I've got 3 layers of 8. I can think of it that way. 3 layers of 8, which is 24 cubic centimeters. I could separate the layers this way and see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of how many? How many are in each layer? 2, 4, 6. You can see that from the picture too. 6 in each layer. So that's 24 cubic centimeters. And then the other way would be, scooch it back together, to separate it this way into long slices. You can picture this as a cake. And then we have 2 slices. And now how many are in each slice? Let's turn and count. It looks like there are 12 in each slice. So we have 2 layers of 12, again, giving us the same volume, because the volume is the volume. It will not change. If you're talking about a box, you know, that's not going to, the same box is not going to be measured differently when you're calculating the volume of a box. There's just different approaches where you go about figuring it out. So we could go 3 by 8, 4 rows of 6, 4 layers of 6, 2 layers of 12. Either way, you get 24 cubic units. Okay? So now we have this lovely rectangular prism here. Let me zoom out a smidge. Josh and Jonah were finding the volume of the prism to the right. The boys agree that 4 layers can be added together to find the volume. They are looking at it like this whole surface down here is the bottom layer, okay? Which that bottom layer would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. It looks like the bottom layer is 24. Josh says that he can see on the end of the prism that each layer will have 16 cubes. So Josh is talking about this layer here. That is a 4 by 4 layer. So that's where he got his 16 cubes. Okay. Jonah says that each layer has 24 cubes in it. Who is right? Explain how you know using words, numbers, and or pictures. Okay. I want you to be creative here. I will let you do your creative thinking, but they're both right. Okay. So Jonah thinks 4 layers of 24. Okay. And Josh thinks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers of 16. Now, both of those equal the same thing. I will let you do the math and you do the explanation and explain why they're both correct. Okay. Marcos makes a prism 1 inch by 5 inches by 5 inches. Okay. So this is using cubic inches. I do not have cubic inches. What do I have here? I have cubic centimeters. But the cubic inches are going to be the same. They're just going to be 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. It'll look more like this size, okay? This is 2 cubic centimeters by 2 cubic centimeters, but when that's close to an inch, it's not an inch perfectly, but they'll be bigger, okay? And he then decides to create layers equal to his first one. Fill the charts below and explain how you know the volume of each new prism. So if he has a 1 by 5 by 5, okay, that's going to look like this. It's going to be 25 cubic units. Now remember, I'm using my centimeters, even though it says inches, because I just don't have the inches. So this is what a 1 by 5 by 5 would look like. 1 unit tall, 5 units wide, and 5 units long. So it's going to take me a few minutes here. All right, I need one more. So there's my 1 by 5 by 5. Okay, do you agree? It's 1 layer. You can think of the 1 inch by 5 inch by 5 inch as 1 layer of 5 by 5. Okay. So now they want us to take this. He then decides to create layers equal to his first one. So here's his first one. Now we need 2 layers, but we have to be using the same amount of cubes. So 2 layers, well, it's not going to be a prism. Oh, wait. I'm not understanding the directions. Sorry, guys. They want us to make 2 layers of 25. So if the volume has 2 layers of 25, the volume is going to be 50. Okay, because 2 layers of 25 equals 50. If it's 4 layers, it's going to be 4 times 25, which will be 100. 4 times 25, which is 100. And then 7 layers times 25. Oh my goodness, that is going to be 100, or yeah, let's see, 175. Okay, 8 layers would be up to 200, but we're not there yet. Okay, so it'll be 175. Okay, so 4, imagine the rectangular prism below is 6 meters long, 6 meters long, 4 meters tall, 4 meters tall, and 2 meters wide, 2 meters wide. See how I just labeled that picture? Draw horizontal lines to show how the prism could be decomposed into layers that are 1 meter in height. Okay, easy enough. So I'm going to draw, this is 4 meters tall. So you guys know that's going to take 3 lines. If I need to divide it into 4 equal parts, my counter is rough. 1, 2, 3, and I'll make those go along to the back. Okay. Now this has to be 6 equal, so that's 5 lines. Okay. Make these go across the top there. Okay. And then the depth is 2. Ta-da! So this has 4 layers from bottom to top. Each horizontal layer contains 12 cubes because 6 by 2 is 12. The volume of this is 48 cubic meters. Look how I wrote cubic meters with a little 3. Okay. All right. That's it. Good luck on your homework. Come to office hours, please. Work hard. Be kind.